Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford, Salina, Kansas. And we've been doing a lot of videos on the Maverick lately on our channel. If you haven't checked some of those out, I'll have them listed down in the description. We've done a bunch of them about how to order your Maverick, the different trim levels that we break it down. You can check those videos out. In fact, the last one I did, I talked a little bit about some different things on the XL trim, and I wanted to clarify a couple things. I did pin a comment, so hopefully most people did see that, because I did say if I had any misinformation there that I would correct that as a pinned comment. I did pin a comment in that video, but I wanted to kind of clarify that in this video as well. Now, I did say that power mirrors were not available on the XL. That is not true. It's not listed on the order guide, it's not listed on build and price, but when you go into the webdo to order, which I don't typically do, that's why I didn't notice this, but when you go in there on an XL and you do put the Copilot 360 package in there, it does give you the power mirrors. So if you're wanting the power mirrors, get the Bliss package. You know, it's a really good package as well, with the Bliss blind spot information system, as well as the cross traffic alert, and then you get the lane keeping system. And also on the privacy glass, I'd mentioned that I thought it was standard, and now I've confirmed that it is. The Maverick brand manager has confirmed that it's privacy glass in the back windows and the back glass on all trims, even the XL trim. So that's good to know. So I wanted to make sure you guys got all that information. But today we are going to talk about, because a lot of customers we've noticed that have ordered the Maverick are ordering the hybrid. So we're getting probably the highest priority, or the most that we're getting, builds anyway, are XLT with the hybrid motor. So I thought this would be a great chance to kind of and maybe educate people that are getting hybrid for the very first time, and maybe even educate people that are against the hybrid and saying maybe they don't have enough power, or you can't go faster speeds with them, whatever it might be. You know, you have to plug them in. I'm going to kind of bust some of those myths there in today's video, and also give you some tips on how you can get the most out of your vehicle. If you want to get that projected 37-40 miles per gallon, how you can do that. And so we're going to get out of this office and we're going to go do that in this week's Tech Tuesday with Tim. So now we're out of that office, we're into a vehicle, and don't have a Maverick to drive. Love to drive one. I don't think we've seen any test drives on them yet. But I am in a vehicle that does have hybrid technology in it, and that's my own Ford Fusion hybrid that I own myself, actually leasing it. Son drives it primarily, but I kind of took it from him today, so he's going to have to live with my F-150 for the day. But I have actually owned a couple Fusion hybrids. And by the way, there are a lot of people out there that are saying that they won't buy a Maverick because they're built in Mexico. But that plant down in Mexico has actually been building the Ford Fusions for many years. And they're building the Bronco Sport. A lot of other vehicles that we've seen come out of that plant with great quality. And if you look at some of the quality ratings on the Fusion and the Fusion hybrid, you're going to see out there fabulous quality coming out of that plant. You shouldn't be nervous about anything being built and in the Mexico plant down there. You're going to get great. It's going to be a great vehicle. I don't think you need to worry about it whatsoever. So some people, you know, they just may not want to do that just because they want a 100% American-made vehicle. But really, those don't exist either, because even the parts that we're getting on even all of your vehicles are going to have some sort of parts that are not made in the United States. If you want a completely 100% American-made vehicle, you're going to have a hard time finding one. So, but you know, the Mexico plant does a great job, and I think you're going to be pleased with the quality that comes out of that plant. Just like with my Ford Fusion hybrid, I've driven now 2 of these and been very pleased with the quality of it. So let me talk first about some of the 3 different electrified vehicles that you can find in some of the Ford models. Of course, right now we now have the Mach-E, which is an all-electric. So you have all-electric vehicles out there. All-electric means that they're going to be basically powered completely by electricity. So they're going to have bigger batteries. They need to be charged overnight. A lot of them have extended batteries or even bigger batteries. You can go even further distance with those. But you're relying 100% on battery power, and how you drive the vehicle can dictate how far you can get with your vehicle based on some of the tips we're going to talk about today. So they're all electric vehicles. We're going to see an F-150 being electrified completely this fall. We should see order guides, be able to order those in the spring, I believe, for the F-150 Lightning. So we're going to see that as well. So a couple electrified vehicles. Actually, Ford did an all-electric Focus years ago as well as a test. So that, you know, I actually almost purchased one. We had a used one I almost purchased just because driving around town is a perfect opportunity and perfect way to get, that's the type of vehicle you might want to get. There also is a plug-in hybrid. The C-Max was a plug-in hybrid. They had both a hybrid and a plug-in hybrid versions, as well as we do see it currently in the Escape. You can get a plug-in hybrid in the Escape right now. And so the difference on the plug-in hybrid versus an electric, you do plug it in, it's going to have a smaller battery, but it does have some a gas engine as well. So you do have some hybrid kind of technologies there, combining the two together. But what's great about a plug-in hybrid is you can go in an all-electric mode, or what they call an EV mode, which means I can put an electric around town and I can drive just strictly off of the battery motor or the electric motor, and then not use any of my gas, conserve it, but I have it if I want to go out of town and go on those long distances. I don't have to rely on trying to find charging places along the route. I can still use some of the hybrid technologies, get great fuel economy, but have the gas if I want to go out of town and go on those long trips. And then there's the hybrid version. The hybrid version is doesn't have any kind of plug-in. So you're not plugging the battery in. You're not relying totally on the electrification or that electric motor, but it's combined with the gas engine. So the 2.5 liter is what Ford's doing on a lot of their vehicles. Of course, you do see that on the F-150 is the 3.5 high output EcoBoost engine, which gives you a great amount of power. And so, the hybrid combines your electric along with your gas to give you the best of both worlds, to give you some good fuel economy, but you don't have to rely 100% on the electric motor and being able to try to find those charging stations. So how does the battery charge up on a hybrid? By braking. So a lot of it's by how you can cruise along. If you put in, like this has an eco mode. If you have an eco mode, you can get some good economy that way, because what it'll do is when you let off the gas, then it's actually it'll regenerate a little bit with that, using a little bit of the braking, but not 100%. And then when you brake, you use regenerative braking to give you more energy into the battery, so that you have more energy or more battery power, so you can use an electric motor. So you want to make sure you're keeping that battery power up there. So some of the myths are that hybrid vehicles, you can't drive them like a normal vehicle. They don't have the power of a normal vehicle, and that's not so. I'm going to actually show you that. We're going to take off. We're going to go for a ride here in a little bit. And we're going to show you that you can drive this like a normal vehicle. In fact, the first hybrid I did get, that's how I drove it. I drove it like a regular vehicle, and it has plenty of power. It's immediate power. There's not shifting. So you're not shifting down the first and shifting the second and third. It is a continuously variable transmission, so the power is there when you need it. And so the engine helps out when it needs to. So at low speeds, they're going to combine together to get you off the line, and then at higher speeds, the gas engine is going to be there to help you out if you need a boost of energy or boost of power there. So that's where it's going to be available. So hybrid, you can drive it like a normal vehicle, has plenty of power. You get off the line along with the traffic. People aren't going to be upset with you or anything if you want to drive it that way. Most of the people that have hybrids drive it a little bit easier, accelerating. We're going to talk about tips in a second, and that's because they want to get the most fuel efficient out of their vehicle. It's not because the vehicle can't drive that way. It's that's the way they choose to drive the vehicle. Now, also you have with these, a lot of people think you can't go very fast with them, but that's not true either. You can go over 70 miles an hour with these, just like any other vehicle. So again, it does have a gas engine there. Excuse me. So it can be used just like any other engine. So just keep that in mind. The hybrids are a great combination and a great choice if you're wanting good fuel efficiency in your vehicle. Hybrid is a great way to go. So let's go ahead and start driving. Buckle up here. Hopefully it doesn't mess with the microphone down here or my microphone here. Maybe it does. So I might have to bring this down just a little bit here. Let me move my microphone a little bit real quick. Move it up. And move this down. It's down. Okay. So hopefully that microphone doesn't cause any static on this drive. So I've been running all along. I've had the vehicle on. You couldn't hear it. You couldn't hear the engine. That's because it was using battery power to power it. It does lower that down, but if the battery gets too low, it will turn it on. Now this Fusion, and hopefully the Maverick has the same thing, has this nice little app that has a power flow, and it shows you the power. And I turned the AC off, and that might be why we didn't see the engine turn back on. So I'm actually going to turn that on. Maybe keep the fan speed a little low here, and and it may eventually kick the engine on when it needs some of that. So it's what's great about it is you can see what's being used, what the battery is powering. Right now the battery is powering the climate, and the it says other, which is this screen right here, is basically your other. So your controls right here as well, and then your climate. So you can see that it's controlling that. So it's pretty cool on how that looks on the screen there, and then you see the electric motor and the drive. So if I start going, I drive slowly, you're going to see that it's needing that right now. See that it just kicked on. So you can see it needed fuel. It kicked on to be able to power the climate because I have the climate control on, and to keep that going, it's not enough battery power to do that, so we need to kick the engine on. So I am going to show you some clips of the screens over here. I'm assuming the Maverick will have some other screens like that to show you how well you're driving your hybrid vehicle. This one here, the Fusion, does have an engage mode. It has an empower mode. Well, let's go through these one at a time. The engage mode over here, what's cool about that mode is that it shows you, it has the gas, the motor on the outside, the bigger one that goes around, that's in white, and then inside that you have an EV. That's your battery, and that's when your battery is being used to power the vehicle or move the vehicle. You're going to see that in blue, so you'll know what's being used the most time. And then your miles per gallon comes up, so it's pretty cool. Right now you're seeing average miles per gallon is 36.1. Fusion will get better than that, but again, I don't drive my vehicles like most people would drive a hybrid, because I'm not that concerned about fuel economy, but it does help me get a much better fuel economy in the vehicle. So 36, just driving it like a normal vehicle, like I would any other vehicle that I have, is pretty good fuel economy. And if I really drove this efficiently, like I'm going to show you some of those tips, and if I use those tips completely, then I could get even better fuel economy. Making sure my microphone's not hopefully it's not too loud. I'll adjust the volume if it gets too loud, but I definitely don't want any kind of ruffling in this recording here. Okay, so that's the engage mode. So if I go down to the empower, it actually combines it together, kind of shows you that. So it'll actually, at the bottom, will show your battery power, and then as it needs that gas, you'll see the white. So it's a white and blue combination there, so you can see that kind of combines it together. And then if I keep going down, you can actually customize the My View. And the My View, I customize it. One of the customizations is that you can see your acceleration, your braking, and your cruising. So to get better fuel economy out of a hybrid, you want to be able to be good at all three of those: accelerating easily and smoothly, braking really efficiently, and I'll tell you that's one of the tips, as well as cruising. So you can see I do really well with the cruising on this particular one. Acceleration is getting up there because I actually was really concentrating on that on the way over here from home to work. And then the braking looks like we'll get some help on our trip here. So okay, so that's kind of how some of that rundown is. So and then when you brake, you're actually going to see how good you get a brake coach. You can see how good it is. So I'm assuming all these will be the same, because again, Ford's been building hybrids for years. I think 2005 maybe, and I can't remember the first year they had it, but they've been developing the hybrids, and the engine you're going to see in the Maverick is no different. They know what they're doing there. It's going to be pretty efficient. So we're going to go ahead and start driving and kind of go over some of the tips for that. I do need to grab my phone, because I am going to reference in down description, reference an article that I found on for some of these tips. Now there's some things that I've noticed by driving the vehicle, but I also wanted to get some tips from some places out there. So Cars Direct had a nice little article, so I do have that reference down below, and that's where some of these tips are going to come from, plus some tips that I'm going to give you that I found in some other articles, but I also figured out on my own as well with this. So let me pull these up here, these tips here. Here we go. So, and the first thing we've kind of already talked about is, when you're driving these, you do want to kind of limit your acceleration. So if you really press it and you want to like race somebody, you're going to use a lot of gas power and not as much of electric power. But if you accelerate at more gradual, then you're just going to need to use some gas to get it going. But the more of the battery you use, the more efficient it's going to be. I actually was able to. One trip I remember I tried doing that, going really slow, and it drove me nuts because there's people behind me and I'm keeping them up, and I don't like doing that. I don't like to get in anybody's way, but so I had a hard time doing that. But you can get really good fuel economy. You can really boost that up. Like right now I'm going on totally electric through this parking lot here, and not even using any gas power, because I'm going real easy on the acceleration. So another tip is to observe the speed limit. So speed limit will help you get good fuel economy as well. So if you're staying within the speed limit, especially, if the speed limit's, 30 miles an hour, if you are in that 30-mile-an-hour zone, you can do a lot of cruising on all battery power, and that really helps. So the speed limit will help you with that. Even on the highway, if you want to get the most fuel efficiency on the highway as well as in town, then you probably want to do is you want to be going, you don't want to be going 75 or over 70. You really want to keep it in the 60s, and that's how you would get the best fuel economy on the highway. So I'll wait for these cars to go by here. But I'm going to show you right now, because I do want to get in front of this truck, that you can have plenty of power with this. So again, it's using a lot of gas power to do it, but it does pick up and go just as well as any. I'm already up to 45. So it has plenty of power. It's, again, instant power. If you want to drive it that way, it's there, or it's there when you need it. If you need to get into some rush hour traffic, you need to get in and find that spot, the power's there, it's instant, it's ready to go, and it's very fuel efficient. So I want to miss that, or bust that myth right there for you as well. So another tip that I found in the articles that mentioned is turn off your AC. So if I turn the AC off, then you don't have that power, doesn't need to go to the climate. So you could use that battery power for that. Now, one of the things you'll notice, I just kind of let off the gas a little bit, and since I have it in the eco mode, when I do that, it's actually kind of regenerating. Now, I didn't get an opportunity to brake real early on this one, but I am trying to brake, so I'm not slamming my brakes, but going more even. And I only regenerated 72% of my energy, so my grade was not good on that one because that light kind of turned on me, and that's going to happen from time to time. But if you're projecting, you see that light ahead, then you can do that. So we're going to try to take off a little slow here. Again, still needs to use a little bit of gas, but you can see that energy can go way up. So I'm using mostly battery, but I am up to 30 now. So you have to go more. You have to limit their acceleration if you want to get good fuel economy. Another tip number 4 that the article references is avoiding traffic. And this is important because the less opportunities and less times that you have to accelerate, the less gas you're going to use. Here I've already stopped a couple times here, and each time I get started, I'm going to have to use some gas to get it started. It's going to, at low speeds, it's going to want to combine the gas and the electric motor, the gas engine electric motor, to get it to propel and get up to speed. Now, once I'm up to speed, like I am now, I can let off of the gas and then press it gently, and now I can just float and cruise off of total electric power here. And that's why my cruising is so well, is because I do that part pretty well. And that's not a tip that's found in this article, but it's something that I figured out, that if you get up to speed and you keep accelerating, it's going to keep using that gas. It's engaged there and for that gas engine. But I noticed if I let go of the accelerator and then I press it gently, then it lets go of that gas, and so then I can just press the battery power here. And so, like right now, I'm just cruising completely on battery. The engine's not even turned on, it's not running, and I'm running completely on your battery power. So this is great. Now this works. I am going to turn my AC back on because that sun's coming in, it's pretty warm. I have found if I put this on auto setting, because this one does have the auto climate control, that what helps about that is that instead of that fan constantly running, it'll run until it gets up to that temperature, and then it'll kind of shut off, and that will help your battery power. Because you notice when I did that, even though I was cruising, the gas came on because I needed that power for the climate control. So so that's how that's going to work. Tip number 5 is something I didn't think about, and that's inflate your tires. Make sure they're properly inflated to get you better fuel economy. I never thought about that, but that was in the article, as well as lighten your load. So those that are getting a truck, they might be getting a truck to be able to haul things in. And so you might struggle with that when you're hauling things. You'll probably notice you'll get, of course, better fuel economy when you're not towing something and when you're not putting something in the bed. So try to if you have that, try to empty that load so you can get better fuel economy. That's kind of a no-brainer there. That's why I didn't really think about it. But also the less people you have in the vehicle, the better fuel economy you're going to get, that kind of thing. So those are some tips that the article brought out. And then some of those other tips, like I already mentioned, is the cruising. Like right now, I'm running at 40. I'm on completely battery because I got up to speed with the gas. I let off of the gas pedal, and then I went down. The other is to turn that eco mode on. Have that eco mode on. If you have it, I'm sure the Maverick will have an eco mode. Turn that on. So that way, that helps out. So if I get to a point, I'm actually going up a hill right now, but if I get to where maybe I'm going a downhill or I'm even and I'm already up to speed, I can actually let go of the gas right now, and it's slowing down a little bit. It's regenerating a little bit of that. So you can see that cycle through, that's regenerating, and I'm not pressing the brake. So eco mode helps and does that for me. I had to get back up to speed, so I used a little more gas. But some of the things that I've done is I actually pull off away from a stop, just like I would any other gas engine, get up to speed as quick as possible, and then go into that cruising mode. That's what I've done. And again, I'm probably not the best at driving a hybrid and getting the best fuel economy. I'm sure there are other people, and if you are one of those that has a hybrid and you found some things that work for you, please drop those comments down below. I'm sure people that are watching this video would love getting that feedback, because I will tell you, I'm not an expert at this. There's some things that I've noticed by driving my hybrid, as well as reading some different articles about the best and most efficient way to drive your vehicle. So see some of the other tips that I had. And then, oh yeah, I think I probably mentioned all those. You do want to make sure you brake early. So, when you have a new hybrid, if you want to, you don't want to like go real slow from a stop, that's fine, do that. That's what I do as well. I try to get up that cruising like I am now, let off the brake, or the gas I mean, and then press it slowly. So that way I use my battery instead of my gas, cruising along, and then I brake early. So you want to, like, I got a stoplight up there, so I want to when I get close enough, I want to start braking, and the longer I can brake slowly, so it's a gentle brake, it's not like slamming on the brakes, it's a gentle brake, that'll actually regenerate that battery even more. So again, starting it early before I get to the stoplight regenerates that power there, and then when I come to that stop, then that's where I achieve that, like in this case, was a 91% rating for my energy returned. So I could have probably stopped a little earlier, or I could have stopped, pressed a little bit more, a little harder there, and get that fuel efficiency. So there's kind of some of the tips for you. Hopefully this video did help you out, gave you some information on that. Don't forget to be checking for other videos. We'll do some more videos on some of the Maverick updates. We are getting real close to getting builds scheduled. I think this week, actually, we're going to see the 16th, I think, or 15th is our deadline to get orders in. And the reason that's a deadline for some people, you can still order a vehicle after that deadline. It's just we're probably going to need to use our stock allocations for custom orders. So right now, Ford's saying get in all your builds. We're going to build everything you have on order. It's not going to count towards any of your stock allocations, and you're not going to be limited to that. We'll build any orders that you get. Like, we're up to over 200 orders, I think, or reservations, where we'll convert all those over to orders. And so Ford's going to build all those. They're telling us, hey, up to the 15th, that's your deadline. That's when we're going to start scheduling for those builds. So get those builds in for that. And then after this, dealerships will get a certain amount of allocations each month. And what that'll be is if you get 10 allocations, and then you have like 11 custom builds, one of those builds isn't going to get done that month. Isn't going to be built that month to get pushed to the next month. But usually Ford will acquire, and you'll get allocations based on your amount of vehicles sold. Like, we got some stock allocations to go along with our custom builds already for August. We're going to get 9 allocations for our dealership for stock units. Those don't count against those, but in the future it will. I think once they get through these builds, then we'll be limited on how many vehicles we can get allocation we're going to get. So if you're wanting to make sure you get in there and not be limited and push back any whatsoever from a dealership that maybe gets a lot of orders, then you want to make sure you get your order in by the 15th or by this week. But so we'll start seeing schedules going out, or the scheduling going out for custom builds, which is exciting. We'll get these Mavericks start building. Some of those people out there that have got their builds in that first week, that June 9th, I think is when it opened up, or June 8th. So if you got your your order in on the 8th, 9th, 10th, that week, you're probably going to get your Mavericks built in August, which is real exciting. I think the second or third week of August is when they're going to start building those. So that'll be real exciting for customers. So get those, especially those that ordered real early. If you just ordered now, projected dates, a lot of people are asking me, when do you think I'll get them? I do figure that a lot of the builds, if you're just now submitting your order, it's been a month in, there's a lot of vehicles probably in front of you to get built. You're probably going to be expecting maybe December build, but I still think if you order them now, you get before this deadline, you're probably going to see yours this year before the end of the year. So maybe a great Christmas present for those that are just ordering now. But keep that in mind. So get those orders in. And again, as always, subscribe to the YouTube channel for updated Maverick news. Hit the notification bell. That way you get notified the next time we have another video uploaded to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to smash the like button. Put your comments down below. I do read those. Sometimes I'm a little delayed, just depends on how busy I am. But also don't forget, there's some great forums out there and some great website. There's maverickchat.com that does some updates, some stuff on Maverick, as well as you can find information on maverickTruckClub.com. I actually just joined that recently. Thanks to someone dropping the comments down there on that one. I'm glad they told me about that, so I did sign up with them. As well as there's a great Reddit. If you're on Reddit, there's a great subreddit, Maverick Truck. I'll put it down below. Maverick Truck, I think. So a Ford Maverick Truck, I think that's what it is. So definitely check that one out. I'm on there a lot answering questions, as well as on Facebook. There's several different Facebook groups as well that you can join and learn some information from as well. So definitely check those out and keep updated on news and everything, and we'll be updating as well here. If you have a reservation with us and order with us, you're going to be getting some emails from me. That's just kind of keep you updated and keep you excited about what we know, keep you kind of up to date on the news, in the loop kind of thing. You should be getting, because we did our reservations I would say the correct way, but the way Ford wants you to. So if you did a reservation and an order with us, we did use the correct, the Maverick ordering lead submission order system, or whatever they call it, to do the order. So because we do it that way and use your reservation number, then you'll be getting notified. You'll be getting emails from Ford throughout the process. So you should have gotten an email from them telling you that your order's been submitted. Then you should get another email once they schedule your vehicle to be built. So they'll get an email telling you your vehicle's scheduled. It's going to be built on this day or this week, and that kind of clues you in a little bit that, hey, it's coming up. And then once it's built and it's ready to go on for shipping, for transit, it'll tell you that as well. You get another email saying your vehicle's built here, and maybe I think it even gives you your VIN number, and then lets you know that here's when it's scheduled to go out from the factory and when you should expect it at the dealership. So it's pretty cool. So you're going to know, just along with us, when these vehicles start arriving, and then of course you'll get emails from us and from your salesperson on the delivery, especially if you want it delivered or if you want to pick it up, fly in, whatever, you can do that. So anyway, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about today. Went on and on, but again, thanks for watching this video. Really appreciate the new subscribers to the channel. Those excited about their Mavericks, we're excited too along with you. So can't wait to see those start rolling in and getting built. So I think you're going to be really pleased, and you're going to be, a lot of people are thinking they're not going to see the Mavericks this year, but they're not getting the hold up with the chips like the trucks are, like the F-150s and Super Duties. So you should still, if you've put your orders in already, you should still be able to see your Maverick get built and delivered to you by the end of this year. So be looking and getting excited about that. So again, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget, you can find us on social media. We're at McArthur on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And until the next video, we'll see you later. Have a great day.